All right, we're about to dive into something that sounds like it's straight out of a movie. We're talking about the world of cybersecurity, where the good guys are now building AI-powered hackers. And no, this isn't science fiction. It's a very real strategy that's shaping the future of digital defense.
So, let's just get right to the big question, the one that's probably on your mind right now. Can you actually teach an AI to be a hacker? To break into systems, steal data, the whole 9 yards.
Well, for the people who are actually on the front lines, the answer is a clear and simple yes. But, and this is the big twist, they're not doing it to cause any harm. They're doing it so they can understand exactly what they're up against and build much, much stronger defenses.
So how in the world do you even start? Well, the very first step is to see if you can get an AI to write not just any old code, but truly malicious code.
We all know that large language models are amazing at writing code. They're changing how software gets built. But that incredible ability is a real double-edged sword. It got researchers thinking, if an AI is great at building things, can we also teach it how to break them? The first method they tried is something called jailbreaking. You can think of it like trying to sweet-talk an AI into breaking its own rules. In a project called LLM Virus, researchers actually used algorithms to figure out the perfect sequence of words to bypass the AI's safety filters and convince it to write real, working malware. Okay, but the next method is even sneakier. It's called poisoning. This is basically a supply chain attack on the AI's brain. Researchers on a project named MalInstructCoder showed that if you sneak just a tiny amount of malicious code, we're talking as little as 0.5% into the training data, you can create an AI that will secretly insert backdoors into its code, even when you give it a completely innocent request. So, getting an AI to write one piece of malware is one thing. But the real game changer, the thing that keeps security experts up at night, is creating malware that's smart enough to hide and evolve on its own. And this is just a brilliant and terrifying example of that. They created a proof-of-concept worm called Synthetic Cancer, and it runs this completely autonomous cycle. It starts by writing a phishing email to get in. Then it delivers its malicious code. But here, this is the crazy part. It then asks the LLM to rewrite its own code, to mutate, before it jumps to the next computer. It's constantly changing its own fingerprints, which makes it almost impossible to track.
Now, generating a virus is just one piece of the puzzle. Let's move to the next level, because the real goal for these researchers is to simulate an entire cyber attack from the first moment to the last.
And this is where things get really serious. This is where we meet a tool called AutoAttacker. This isn't just a program that spits out a virus. No, this is an AI agent designed to act just like a human hacker, carrying out a full-scale digital break-in. And here's its playbook. AutoAttacker literally runs through the entire attack chain all by itself. It starts with reconnaissance, scoping out the target. Then it finds a way in, executes its malware, steals passwords so it can move deeper into the network, and finally, it steals the data. It does the whole thing completely on its own.
I know, this all sounds pretty terrifying, right? And that brings us to the most important question of all. Why on earth are the good guys building tools that are so good at being bad?
I mean, it's the most natural question to ask. If you're building an AI that can automate a super sophisticated cyber attack, aren't you just creating the perfect weapon for the bad guys? Well, the answer gets to the very core of how modern cybersecurity works.
And that core idea is called red teaming. It's basically ethical hacking, but on a whole other level. A company will hire a red team to act like a real-world enemy and launch a full-on simulated attack against their own systems. The whole point is to find the weak spots before a real criminal does.
And it's so important to understand that this is way more than just a standard penetration test. A pen test is like checking to see if your doors have common, easy-to-pick locks. Red teaming, on the other hand, is like simulating a team of master thieves who will invent a whole new way to get in through the roof. It tests the entire security system, not just one lock.
So these AI tools give defenders a sparring partner that thinks and moves at machine speed. They can use them to see if their security systems can actually catch brand new malware, to simulate what a real nation-state attack would look like, and to train their human analysts to spot the tactics of an AI hacker. And the researchers who build these tools are crystal clear about their mission. This quote really says it all. The whole point is to help defenders get ready for what's coming by simulating the threat today. Of course, you can't just build things like this without some serious rules. This research is governed by incredibly strict safeguards.
Everything requires written permission. It all happens in isolated sandbox environments that are cut off from the real world. They have instant kill switches to stop everything, and they're designed to be cleaned up completely, leaving no trace.
So when you boil it all down, it comes back to this simple, powerful truth. You cannot build a better shield if you don't fully understand the sword. By building these offensive AI tools, researchers are creating the blueprints for the defenses that we're all going to need.
And that leaves us with one last pretty sobering thought. What we've just seen is the cutting edge of defensive research. It's a preview of the future. So the question we're left with is this. If this is what the good guys are building, just to practice, what are the bad guys building for real?